Hello, today I'll be introducing in this video Snort. Snort is a software used in networking to detect intrusion. It can also be used as packet sniffer, packet logger. So our main focus right now will be intrusion detection system. And this software is completely free. So I'll go ahead and introduce the installation and then go over the configuration, and at the end test it out to see that everything we installed and configured was good and correct and running. So let's start with the installation. You go ahead and go to snort.org. You click on get started. This is where we can find out where to download the installer. I'm using Windows. Here's the different operating systems, so select Windows and I'll download the installer, click on it, save file. So that's for the software, but also along that we need the rules to configure what we want to go into our system or what we don't want into our network. We can stop accordingly using these rules. So you click on rules. We offer 3 types of rules. You can choose from whichever one you want. Community are free, as well as register, except register you need to sign up with an email, and it's completely free. You just sign up, you just create an account, and then there's subscription. So this is for if you want the most recent, the most updated rules, but this one you have to pay for it. I'll go ahead and use the registered. I just created really fast a user, and now I'm able to download these rules. So I'll go ahead and choose the most recent ones. You save file, and that's it. Now I have downloaded the installer, so I have it twice. Just go ahead and delete one. This one I already have it. So we start with the Snort installer. So you run it, open it. As usual, you don't change any parameters, anything from here. You just click next. I'm gonna leave it on default, next. So it's not that heavy, it doesn't take long to install. It's gonna ask you WinCap. WinCap is used to capture packets from your network card. So if you don't have it, it's gonna ask you to install it. But if you already had some other software that does this kind of things, kind of like Wireshark also, you most likely already have it. So you just click OK, and that would have a program installed. So check if it's installed. You go ahead and click look for CMD, run as administrator, and so by default our Snort program, it's installed in C, the root. So I'll go ahead and change the directory to Snort. So Snort, and our program is installed in the bin folder. So I'll go ahead and change to bin folder, and to check if we have it installed correctly, you run snort-v, and there it is. We have 2.9. we have it installed correctly. So that was just to see that everything went good with the installation. Now we have to go to where our files are. Snort, as I mentioned, it's in C. You go to Snort, it's right here. And from here we're gonna use the rules. So the rules go in preprocessing rules. These are used for packets that are incoming, because sometimes they modify them. The intruders, the ones we don't want getting into our networks. So sometimes we have to deal with some different files. So for example, we can work with decoding HTTP, reassembling TCP streams, defragment packets, and also reassembling them. This is because sometimes the intruders modify the packets to avoid being detected. So that's what the pre-processing rules are for. And we have the rules. It's empty right now, and that's why we downloaded the set of rules. Have duplicates, I'll get rid of one, and to open it I use 7-zip. That's the one I use. It's also free. I recommend installing it. So if you want to open this, if you have something else you use, that's good, you can use that. So I'll open it and I'll let it extract. Those rules are gonna go into here, rules and pre-processed rules. So rules, we have it here. We're gonna select them all and drag them to the rules. And we also need the pre-processing rule. That's all we need from you. And also we drag them to pre-processing rules. It's gonna ask you to replace it. You're gonna go ahead and replace. The rules that were already there are kind of old compared to the ones we downloaded, which are more recent, so you replace them. And that's it. We have put our rules so we can use them on Snort. So now that we have extracted them, we're gonna go ahead and configure Snort, and that you can find it on etc. It's and then you can go to Snort configure. We're gonna edit it. I recommend editing with Notepad++. That way you can see the lines on the side, because if you have an error whenever you're trying to run Snort, it will tell you what line is the error. And with this program you can actually see the lines of your configuration. So here it is. So most of this was done to be used in Linux or any not Windows, so you can see a lot of directories that look different. So we'll go ahead and change a lot of that, but for now let's try establish a network. So HomeNet is you can put any, but we wanted to put it as our HomeNet IP address. So as for me, I'll go ahead and put 192.168.100, and then that's 68. And then for external, we want anything that is not our address, so we can put not, so the exclamation mark, reference the variable we have on top, the HomeNet, and then we can just put the variable HomeNet. So that will set up our HomeNet and what is not our HomeNet. Then we're gonna go look for the path files. We leave all this as default, and so here we are on this is for Linux. So here in Windows we have the slashes going the opposite way as this one, so we can just go ahead and copy this path and set it up here. We don't need the sole rules in this case, so we can comment it out with this hashtag symbol. We can just put it there and it will not consider it. Same for pre-processing rules. I'm gonna go ahead and leave it like pre-processing rules. If you go to the folder, you'll find them. So here they are and here they are. We're setting this as the actual address to go to the path. That's for the pathway to fix them. Now we're gonna go ahead and change also in here in the whitelist path and blacklist path. Same thing, we're just gonna put it on c/snort/rules. And what whitelist and blacklist are for is they allow you to add addresses, IP addresses that you don't want to be connecting to your network, or you don't want to allow them, or which one you allow. That's what goes into the whitelist and blacklist. So let's go ahead, and that's for step 1. Let's go lower. This all you leave it on default. And here we have config lock directory, so we're gonna need this, and you uncomment it by deleting that hashtag at the beginning. And we're gonna set the same pact C, snort, rules, but here instead of rules we're gonna need lock. That's where we need to keep our lock, and we're also gonna find it here. So now that's for step 2. Step 3, there should be nothing to change. And so now we're in step 4. So here is where we need to change again our directories. See the slash, they're the other way. So we have lib library, and library is here. So here we actually have the folders that are mentioned here. Snort underscore dynamic preprocessor, here it is, and then engine, here it is, engine. So we're gonna change those directories. So you just change it C snort library. So I'll go ahead and replace the whole thing, since we saw it over there. This is the preprocessor, so it's actually this one. So I'll go ahead and replace that one. And then we have the engine.so. So that also was meant for Linux, and Windows we have DLL. So we're gonna copy the directory, but at the end we have to change that not the one, this was actually this one, so I'll have to change to DLL. And for dynamics we're going to use those here, so we're also going to comment them out. And that's it for the library files. Now let's go to the inline. We don't use inline here in Windows, so we comment all of this out. Just this one's here. Comment. And we're gonna go to back. Here it is. We're also gonna comment this one. So now let's look for port scan, because we need that one. So here it is, port scan. We need to allow that to see who's running a scan on us, in case someone is not in a network and they're scanning around. We can see if someone is also actually trying to reach us, see who's out there. So now let's go look for reputation. So here it is, reputation. So here's where we modify whitelist and blacklist. Now here we have rules. We're gonna go ahead and change this one to, instead not leave it as rule, instead leave it as list, because actually this is just only a list of IP addresses that we don't want going to our network, or the ones we're allowing. So I changed this to whitelist and blacklist, but these are not there. So we're gonna go ahead and add them. We add them as rules, but we add them at list. So I'll go ahead and create a new file, and then I'll just snort white list file. And what this is gonna have is this list of IP addresses here. And we're gonna save it on where the rules are. And I'm just gonna name it as what we named it previously, white.list. And that's it. So the same will go for the blacklist, and then we're just gonna have the name. I'll put save as. Now instead is black.list. So that's where we're gonna have the IP addresses that we don't want to allow it to come in. We just created them and we saved them on the rules, and here they are, white.list and black.list. So that's it for the white list. And now we have here a lot of rules, and the paths, as you can see, have the slash backwards of how it should be in Windows. So you can press Ctrl F and then you can open this find window. We can replace, and you set up the cursor here on specific rules, so we can start searching for those slashes. Find the slash, replace with this slash. We replace one by one because we don't want to replace the whole document. You don't put replace all, since a lot of other sections actually use this slash. So we put find next and we replace it, and you'll go down the list replacing it. So now let's see, down there, replace, and we're done. So we just do that with the site specific rules. So we're done with the slashes. Now we need to enable the pre-processing rules. So that's on step 8. Step 8, here it is. And we just remove the comments, we uncomment them. So that's done all the way to step 8. And if we go further down, we're actually done. So now this should make a configuration correct. Now we need to validate this, see if we made no mistake while editing this document. So before validating our configuration, you need to actually check on your file if you didn't have any mistake, because if you do, then when you try running it on CMD, the Snort, it will give you an error. So for example, I know I have a mistake where we try modifying the address for this dynamic engine. It's a copy and paste, so I actually have this extra lib here. So it's on this one. This is the directory, but if you come in, this is the actual directory, and then dash sf_engine.dll. So this is a mistake I made previously, so you can correct it if you catch it when I actually did it better. So now I have it good, and we can actually validate it, run it to see if our configuration is correct. So I'll go ahead and open CMD, the command prompt, run as administrator, and we go to where our program is. As you can remember, or you recall, is bin. And for to know where to get the packets from, we need to choose an interface, which is where our network, where Snort will get the packets from. If you don't know which one to use, you can look at a list of them at Snort and W. So here I have 3. I know for me, second one, it's my Wi-Fi, and that's what I'm currently using. So I'll go ahead and use that one. So to validate our configuration, we put Snort, the interface, which is the second one, number 2. And then we're gonna put configuration, and where our configuration is Snort etc Snort conf, and we're gonna test it, so it's T. So now it's initializing, and it says can't find any white black list. On the top it said that because our list was empty. Remember, we just created the file, we haven't listed any IP addresses. So now we have to wait for it, because so this detection, this configuration is just being validated, so it's not actually being run. So you can see here Snort successfully validated the configuration. It's not exiting. Now if you want to try it, before running it, we need to generate some loads. So we need to make rules and load them whenever we run this. And to make the rules, we need to go to the folder where Snort is and go to rules, and we have local rules, and this will be loaded all the time we run this. Local rules, and edit with notepad again. I'll go ahead and put simple examples of it, but the detection can be applied in the rules for detection can be applied in different layers. So for example, the app layer with DNS or ICMP, or in the ports, you can use them to detect TCP, UDP, or even on the IP addresses. So I'll go ahead and use those to test them. And to do that, you just you put alerts. This is to tell us if this kind of package is coming in. I'll put ICMP, any. This is if you have an address or a source or destination this is coming from, you would put there instead of any. But since I just want to try a simple rule to see if it works, I'll put any on both. And message, and this is the message that testing ICMP alert. That's all we're doing, and we need a signature ID. Conventional is to have it greater than 9999, but so we'll use 10000001 and semicolon and close it. So that's for ICMP. In case we want to have with UDP, TCP, I'll just go ahead and change it a little bit. UDP. Again, we're not messing with the destinations or source. We just want to try it out, see that it detects the packets that are coming that are ICMP, UDP, and right now I'll try with copy and paste with TCP. This is on the ports level. ICMP is on the application. 1, 2, 3. And we'll go ahead and try those. So it should alert me if any of these are coming in. So those are the local rules. Go ahead and save it. Now that we have written our rules, we're ready to run them. So I'll just open, and again we go to our directory, and the same command we just followed previously, the interface, in my case it was 2, configuration, and then the same directory for our configuration, snort etc snort.com. And since we're gonna try it out, now we actually want to put a, and I'm gonna put console, so everything that every traffic that we're seeing comes out on a command on a window, and it should alert us. So run it. It's initializing. Again, we don't have anything on whitelist or blacklist, so here we have it empty. If you want to add any IP address that you want to avoid or you want to allow, you add it to the list on a single line. So right now, if everything goes good, we should start seeing some traffic coming out here, outputting. So it's acquiring from network, our interface. So we can see that some traffic started to come in, TCP, and it's gonna keep alerting us. So I'll go ahead and stop it with Control C. We saw traffic, which is good. It's actually detecting that TCP packets are coming in. So I'll go ahead and put Control C to exit, and it gives us some information on what we detected. Analyze 341, receive IP4 Ethernet. Obviously, if you leave it longer, you have more information here. So that completes the installation, the configuration, and now we just tested it. If you want to use any more rules, you can just configure them here. And that's it. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope it was helpful and makes it a good head start to using Snort. Thank you.